and then block these messages up front. And the new SSIR will replace the older SMS Send ID Protection Registry, which had been piloted since August last year by the IMDA and the Monetary Authority of Singapore in collaboration with the UK Mobile Ecosystem Forum, or MEF. Now, the MEF had informed IMDA that the requirements for meeting Singapore's future needs are not consistent with its business model. MEF and IMDA have therefore decided to conclude the pilot. With us for more is Mandiant's APAC Head of Intelligence, Ian. Very good evening, Ian. Thanks for joining us. So, could you
maybe you can just do it via the mobile application because the mobile application is a channel that the bank can control more because they are developing it. They can secure it. But SMS is something that is a little out of their hands because it's going via third party, via the telco.
Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Use the mobile app instead of using the SMS text messaging
Yeah.
system, because once you click on that link, you don't know what's going to happen. Yi Hao,
Exactly,
we will have to leave it at that. Thank you for your time. He is Head of Intelligence APAC at Mandiant. In the news, large supermarkets will be required to charge a minimum of 5 cents for each disposable carry bag from mid-2023. Sustainability and the Environment Minister Grace Fu announced this in Parliament today during the Ministry's Committee of Supply debate. The affected supermarket operators are those with an annual turnover of more than $100 million. They include TUC FairPrice, Sheng Siong, Prime, as well as Dairy Farm, which operates cold storage and giant supermarkets. These supermarkets make up about 2/3 of supermarket outlets in Singapore. The mandatory bag charge will only apply to purchases made at their physical stores and not for online orders. As for on-carry disposable bags, such as flat-top plastic bags for bagging fresh produce, as well as meat and seafood, they will not be subject to the mandatory charge. The charge will apply to disposable carry bags regardless of the material used.
Well, the authorities encourage shoppers to bring their own bags and reduce the excessive use of all types of disposable bags. They also strongly encourage supermarkets to use the collected proceeds from the bag charges to support charitable programs or sustainability-related initiatives. To ensure transparency and to discourage profiteering, supermarkets will be required to publish information on the number of bags issued, proceeds received from the bag charges, and how they use the proceeds. The authorities say supermarket operators with an